A true Chandlertonian. When starting her business, giving back to the community was part of her core values. Giving her clients the best in quality footwear has just been part of the thrill. Carissa knows when it comes to shoes, you need to be you, not just stuff into the latest trend. You might hear her say, treat your feet. I'm saying it's gonna be a thriller and a chiller. Carissa from ShoeThrill is on the court. It's the Pickle with Mickle interview series 0-0. Start. All right. What is up? Pickle with Mickle, ShoeThrill 2.0. And it's easy for me just to say, I'm thrilled to have Carissa here with me. She's the ShoeThriller, and she's here with me on the court. She's in her store, and you're still safe there. I remember the last time we tried this, I came to you, and prior to that, you had a few, let's just call them plumbing issues, but we're all good.
I still have the same issues, but it's not going to affect me talking to you one bit.
Fantastic, and it hasn't affected. And it hasn't affected any of the great stuff you got going on down there at ShoeThrill. We've got to talk about it. Your amazing store. I've been there. Carissa, you're right there in the heart of downtown Chandler, which is awesome. You've seen a lot of changes, fair to say, and they're still just changing things every day down there. Just go ahead and describe that Chandler vibe. I mean, you're right there in it. You're right a part of it.
So downtown Chandler, in my building specifically, is actually from 1914. So when you walk into my building and you look at the ceilings, it's really cool. They're all like the old like copper tin ceilings, and it's huge, vaulted. You won't see anything like it. It's very, very, very unique, and we haven't changed any of that structure to the building, so it's pretty. And down in downtown Chandler, versus going to someplace like Gilbert or Scottsdale, what we don't have is corporate America. Everybody is a mom and pop shop or an independent brick and mortar small business. And believe it or not, we have probably more female-owned small businesses in downtown Chandler than any other city that I've ever been to, and I've been to quite a few. So it's a lot for us to be proud of. We have multiple parking garages that we have years ago. Yeah, so you actually can park down here instead of it being a dirt parking lot. We have 5-story parking lots now. We are widening the sidewalks, so that's exciting. So you and your 5 best friends can all hold hands, skip down the streets come October.
Yeah, because right now, if you're skipping down the streets, you might fall into a ditch. But they're going to get it all done. They're going to get it right. And I think that's great, the way you mentioned the mom and pop feel. These are family-owned businesses down there all around. And these are cool, eclectic shops like ShoeThrill. Plus, you've got your eateries, let's say, right? Bars and pubs and wine places. It's just a cool vibe down there. But Carissa, you yourself are a part of historic Chandler, right? Let's talk about that. I got to get this right again, graduated not first in your class at Hamilton High, though you might have, from the first graduating class of Hamilton High. You're a Chandler institution.
Yeah, I actually went to Bogle Junior High, and then I went to Chandler High when there was only Chandler High School, and then I was the first graduating class at Hamilton High School in 2000. I was not first in my class. I think I was like 12th. But there was only like 386 people in my graduating class, whereas now at Hamilton, if you go to a graduation, you're going to go to Wells Fargo Arena in Tempe.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, we're talking, let's just round it down to 20 years, and from 380 people in the class to, just like you said, we got to go into a whole arena for the amount of graduating seniors, not just to mention the amount of high schools that are also just around in the area. It always blows my mind.
I think we're at 5 or 6 now just in Chandler.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Chandler, Hamilton.
Hamilton is a huge one, though, too. I mean, we really kind of still dominate on football, and the Chandler-Hamilton rivalry is very alive and well still.
Oh, yeah.
They both want donations.
Big. We got to fast forward, because now here you are, a shoe baroness. You're on Pickle with Mickle. It's got to feel amazing. And of course, we're here because of this great game of pickleball. That's where I met your husband. And, you met your husband. Remind me how that went. It's a great story. He was dating a student that worked for you, or you had a student of his that worked for you. How did that go?
So one of my employees, Hannah, had been working with me since day one. I had gotten divorced, and I knew exactly what I wanted re-entering the dating population. And so my student went to Chandler Gilbert and took my husband's rock and roll history class. And she came in after a couple weeks of taking his class, and she goes, "You need to date my professor. He's really cute. He's got a full beard. He swears a lot. He loves music, and he likes craft beer." And I was like, "Okay,
Check,
give him my number."
check, check. Little did you
And
know.
we've been together
He was going to become this pickleball guy, right? And start playing pickleball all the time.
Oh, he's been dating pickleball far longer than he's been with me. He actually has been playing since 2008. And
Yeah,
man, you wouldn't think it, but he is amazing on a pickleball court.
Oh, I played with him. He's really good. No, I love playing with him. It's fun to play. I hope we don't cross paths in that tournament coming up. We might. He might be in a different division. I hope. Maybe. We'll see. But again, it's all about the shoes. We're here about the shoes because money, it's got to be the shoes. You've got the new Pickle shoe. We talked about it before. Carissa, I saw a guy with a pair of these on his feet on the court. I don't want to butcher the name of the shoe. You say it first.
Okay, so Olukai, it's a Hawaiian brand.
Yes.
And they make amazing, they started off with making flip-flops. And they have always made the best arch support and the best looking. So usually when you go into comfort shoes, you think ugly, clunky, not cool. That is not the case with Olukai. Olukai appeals to everybody from probably age 16 all the way to 75. And there is something for everyone. Not only do they make flip-flops and regular streetwear, they have now branched out into golf shoes. Yes. And then pickleball shoes are their newest thing.
Absolutely. So cool. I was on the website and I saw the golf shoe, and I just think it's awesome the way pickleball and golf parallel each other for the weekend warrior, rec player, the consumer, which is certainly great for you. And now you've got this pickleball shoe. And I saw a guy with them on his feet and I went, what? I know somebody who's just getting these in. And folks, if you are hanging around the valley the weekend of August 17th, you need to go to Pickle. ShoeThrill, Carissa's going to be there with these Olukai shoes that you can see. Maybe even get a pair if you want. And let me tell you, I had to put on my husband's pair to try them out. They're very comfortable. They're cool. And what, you got 3 colors right now? Is that the style?
So on the 17th, I will have 3 colors. I have 2 colors that I can show you just for today, and then I can kind of break down what goes into the shoe and what makes it so legit.
Ultimate spoiler.
But at the tournament, I will have 3 colors for women and 3 colors for men and full size runs, so that I will have something for everybody. So what most people think of when we think of a court shoe is like a white, clunky, hideous, K-Swiss-ish 90s shoe.
A stance.
Kind of looks like what you used to get at Costco, like the Costco Kirkland Classic court shoe. Nowadays, I love that they're making shoes that you can wear on the court and then go right out to lunch or dinner.
Okay.
So you're not changing your footwear. So this is a shoe that you can wear on the court and off the court. You can wear it just as a casual walking shoe, but it is geared specifically towards pickleball. So like for this one, this is the women's.
Okay. It's
actually really cute and really attractive.
That looks like it's got a pinkish hue.
It is. It's kind of like a light. I wouldn't call it a baby pink, but
you're right a little bit. There you go. Nice. Yeah.
So it's like subtle pastel, and then what you might see, like here on the sole, is this is actually supposed to represent coral reef. So they inject everything that has to do with like the ocean and the Hawaiian theme into all of their products. And then their technology, they have taken Nike's tennis shoe technology and infused the kind of technology that would be in a basketball shoe into a court shoe. But for pickleball, because it's so important when you guys are moving laterally, it has been reinforced so that you won't roll or turn an ankle. And they actually own their own patent for this anti-slip sole so that you will not slip on the courts, and it's non-marking. And the men's shoe is just as handsome. And this one is going to be coming in all white. And then where you see the major part of white, it's also going to come with navy. And then there's another one that's going to be a good old pickleball green.
A pickleball green. That's right.
But
that's
these things are
right on.
Yeah. Well, my husband likes to represent pickleball in all ways, shapes, and forms. So.
Well, I love the way that you said it's a shoe you can wear out on the court. It is a good-looking shoe. You can wear it anywhere. There's versatility because people are already wearing their shoes that they pickle in or whatever they do in all the time. And that's where we're going to come and tap the mind of Carissa. We got to set the stage for how the thrill began a little bit, because you started this business back in 2012. And, you know, when you were a young girl, you might not have been just walking around in mom or dad's shoes all the time or designing shoes. Maybe you were. However, I mean, there was the trampoline story. You can tell that one, but you also kind of grew up yourself in the industry, working for others, figuring out kind of your own path and how you wanted to do it. But along the way, I love how you broke down a little bit of the technology in the shoe. You know a lot about what's good for feet. And I want you to tell people how they can help taking care of their feet with the right shoe, whether it is on the court, or you and I were laughing about some of those shoes you've got where women got to stand. I mean, it looks like they got to be vertical, but it's important. Men, women, whatever you're doing, taking care of your feet helps take care of what? Your soul. Makes you happy. And so I'll let you talk about it because you're the expert.
Sure. So what most people hear nowadays when it comes to foot problems, and this is my customers or NFL football players, you hear about things like plantar fasciitis. You hear about neuromas, which is a nerve damage that you can have in your feet. And most people think that barefoot is comfortable. Barefoot is acceptable if you're walking on sand or on fluffy carpet. Unfortunately, especially living in Arizona, we are walking on all unnatural surfaces. That means that you are pounding your feet, your joints, you're compressing the tissues in your body, and that's where your shoes and having a structured footbed becomes so important. Your foot is what distributes your entire body, so if you take care of your feet, you're going to have better knees, better hips, better back, and a lot less time in the chiropractor's office. And yes, I've always been a shoe nerd. I remember I got a babysitting job because in the 90s, Doc Martens were all the rage, and my parents were not going to spend that kind of money. So I saved all my babysitting money for shoes. And shoes became really important to me when I blew up my knee on a trampoline at 22. I basically landed with my kneecap locked. I blew up the entire plateau, which is the kneecap. And I ripped the PCL, which is your major posterior ligament, completely off the femur.
Oh my goodness.
So I didn't walk for like 3 months. Yeah, it was a lot of PT. And I'm not desk job material. I also don't ever want to look like an old lady. I don't know a single old lady that actually wants to look like an old lady.
Right.
So as I was in the process of getting my broadcasting degree, I was like, there has to be a market for people who actually want good-looking comfort shoes.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, after working for somebody else for 10 years, I knew that there was no way to go up from being an assistant manager and a buyer. So I opened my own business in downtown Chandler. At this point, we only had Santan Brewery, Savas, and maybe a couple of other guys that have been down here a long time. But I knew that this was going to be like the next big hub, kind of like Mill Avenue is for Tempe.
Sure. Yeah, and with the continued revitalization of it, but also keeping the mom and pop, there's a hip feel down there. We can call it hip. And I mean, I like it when you go down there, and I love how your store's positioned. And I do love the inside of it. I can't get past it. But aside from shoes, you've also got some, some accessories in there. Talk about other things that folks can come in when they're at the ShoeThrill and might pick up. Maybe a guy wants to sneak in there and get something cool for his wife or significant other.
We carry, I would be a horrible boy. I definitely have a shopping problem. And when I like something, I don't like it a little, I like it a lot. I carry probably the
I
most
can
comfortable
attest
vest.
that your husband is a very kind man, but he did mention when I told him I was in the store and I was talking about some of the other stuff, he did say in a kind way, "That's Carissa."
Yeah, I think what is the word that he uses? I'm a lot.
You use it.
And I'm okay with it. I am a lot. But when you come in, you're going to get somebody who really does know what they're talking about. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not good at pretending. So I don't even try. So my favorite brand of leggings is called Beyond Yoga.
Okay.
If you ladies have been wearing Lulu leggings, you are missing out. This brand is designed by women, made by women, and is so much cuter and more flattering than Lululemon's. So if you wanted to stop by and try a pair on, please do. I have 15 pairs myself.
Ooh.
I also carry amazing women-designed, women-made jewelry.
Yes.
And I also carry purses, wallets that are also women-designed, women-owned brands. So I try to get back into the female retail community. It doesn't mean that I don't love men. I'm a big fan, and I carry tons of stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
But women should sell to women, women's products.
No, I love it. And because you have to, and I think I like the way you said it, but remember, guys, you can do a sneak attack. You can have a nice little day downtown Chandler, casually be like, hey, honey, what's this ShoeThrill? Let's pop in there. And while she's not looking, Carissa's, keeping her over there. You're buying a cool little piece of jewelry for her. Then you surprise her. Oh my gosh. I mean, home run city, ShoeThrill, downtown Chandler. Pickle with Mickle. I'm talking with Carissa. Let's talk more about the importance of, taking care of your feet, the importance of this new shoe for when we are playing pickleball. But I think I like you mentioned how I see, so we all walk around with our bare feet. You carry sandals. You mentioned you were a big fan. Were you wearing Doc Martens on that trampoline? I've got this vision of 90s Carissa, Doc Martened out, maybe semi-goth. I mean, come on. You can tell me, what was the look?
Maybe if it was Rainbow Bright meant goth. That's for me. I'm pretty colorful. And no, I was not wearing Doc Martens. As a matter of fact, I was just wearing socks. We could maybe blame the trampoline accident on the fact that I wasn't wearing footwear. So that would also be my fault. When it comes to your feet, the best way for me to describe, because a lot of people don't know anything about their feet until their feet hurt.
And the biggest
And
thing
then the first thing they do,
the plantar fasciitis, right? That's the main thing I hear from people, and they don't know how to cure it. And once you get it, oh my gosh, you've had it and you never want it again.
no. And unfortunately, people who don't understand it just go to a foot doctor, and some of them jump right into surgery, which will actually cause more issues, because the thing that most closely resembles your foot is your hand. So how often would you want somebody to go and invade all of the tissue, all of the muscles, and all of the ligaments in your hand? It's no different with your feet. You ruin your feet, you won't be playing pickleball.
Right.
You won't be running. You won't be doing the same activities. And so what people don't realize is our feet don't regenerate. You have little fatty tissue, fatty pads on your feet. So if you're walking around barefoot on concrete, your weight will compress that, and eventually you'll be left walking on bone. Now, your plantar fascia runs right down the middle of your foot.
Okay.
So what happens is when you're walking around barefoot, you're starting to hyperextend your plantar fascia muscle. And the only way that I can describe the pain is if you remember when you were a kid and you jumped off the swing set wrong, that shocking feeling when you hit the ground.
Constant.
That's what it feels like every step. You truly cannot function. If you worked at Costco, you would be calling out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think
But it's the easiest thing.
I think I told you my personal story, like a weekend of, debauchery, pool volleyball, jumping up and down, bottom of the pool. I woke up, I couldn't step on my foot. And what did I do? Self-diagnose, WebMD. Oh, it must be this, plantar fasciitis. How do I fix it? Insole, special shoe, $300 later, foot still hurts. I mean, but that's what a lot of people, I think, would go out to do. They kind of take the same approach. However, proper prevention helps the feet, because let alone just to play pickleball, as you mentioned, I couldn't walk. I mean, you couldn't even move.
It really is something miserable. Unfortunately, when it comes to footwear, we all buy into marketing. So what you see out there right now, which are the two brands, I have no problem saying that I absolutely detest them.
Go ahead.
The two brands that you see that everybody's wearing and raves about are Skechers and Crocs. They got a great marketing team. None of that money is being invested in the technology of the shoe itself or its support. I highly recommend not purchasing those brands if you have plantar fasciitis. So people think something super flexible, pliable, and cushy is really good for your foot. I call that artificial comfort.
Okay.
Feels good for about an hour. That means what? Your foot is still flattening out. It's still hyperextending. What you actually want is something firm that doesn't bend. It keeps your foot stable. That way, you can't mess it up. This is what causes it from preventative measures. So I call it the taco test. When I have a customer that comes in that has plantar fasciitis, I go, if you can take a shoe at home and turn it into a taco, you need to get rid of it.
You know what? Very cool.
And they're like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, tax write-off. I mean, go ahead and donate it, and we'll start over because I will help you redo your closet.
Very great.
And there is so many good shoes.
There are.
And why do you want to be in pain?
I don't. Not on my feet. I've been through it. And like I said, I went through all the different inserts and all the bullshit that a normal person is going to do without actually maybe taking time to talk to somebody and say, oh my gosh, maybe I should try a different approach in what I'm putting on my feet. Because for some people, maybe they shouldn't wear a flip-flop and maybe they need to wear a more comfort kind of sandal if they want to have kind of a beachy shoe. If you go to ShoeThrill, you can find them all. But go ahead. I know you were going to make a comment.
Well, the interesting thing is, I don't know if it's just us as a society. We all decide that we need to all wear the same thing, do the same thing because fads come and go. For instance, Birkenstock is going through a huge resurgence. It's now the #1 shoe in the entire world. Actually, when the Olympics are happening in Paris, the week before the Olympics started, Birkenstock opened a concept store on the most popular fashion street in Paris. And it's because Birkenstock were originally designed as a health sandal or an after-sport recovery shoe.
I did not.
Now, while I myself like Birkenstock, they have so much history. You're talking about Christopher Columbus. Birkenstock's been around since 1774. And the DNA has not changed. I mean, they have stayed true to the structure. And most people don't realize that. They support all 4 of your major arches. That's right. You have 4 arches in your feet. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4. And Birkenstock actually supports all 4. But all of the feet are different. This is why you cannot shop online for your footwear unless you are buying a duplicate of something that you already have owned.
Like the same pair.
Our feet are
just the exact same thing.
It has to even be the same color because it'll even vary with the dye process. So when it comes down to your footwear, because our feet are so many different shapes, sizes, widths, you need to try them on in person to get proper fits. So there is no one shoe fits all. It doesn't work that way. That's why you come to somebody like me. You tell me what's going on with your feet, what the issue is. If you're somebody, you notice that you're starting to get hammer toes or your toes are starting to overlap, I'm not going to put you in a Birkenstock. You probably need a back strap because guess who's been gripping with their toes too much?
Because your toes are coming out over there.
And right. Your toes are...
And you know what you don't want to have happen if you do develop that hammer toe? You know what the surgical fix for that is? They stick pins in your toes to like get them. You don't want, trust me, you don't want that. I had a friend that had to do that for something else. But anytime, like you mentioned, your hands and your feet, when you start having to get them opened up and fixed, like my pinkies are perfect. We're not going to go fix those. Those are just wounded from various injuries, but your feet, it's so important. And
so many people are vain about their feet, and your feet serve a purpose, and it's to hold up the rest of your body. This is not a vanity thing. This is a function thing. And if you have ugly feet, I can help cover them up with something cute. There's that opportunity too.
I have super ugly
I'm sure your feet are not as bad.
I've got a six toe growing out of my. I've got a six toe growing out of my right foot, which is actually like a bunion bone spur, and it takes its own residence in every pair of my shoes. But the doctor said, as long as
Oh
it's
yeah.
not, as long as it's not causing me pain, he's like, don't worry about it. Because if you want some pain, I'll take it off. He's like, I'll get rid of it for you.
No. So if you have never experienced bone pain, what he's talking about is doing a partial bunionectomy. So what he would do is he would go in and he would actually drill your bone,
No.
like drill it off. And you know what happens? They grow back. I've seen all these foot surgeries. So it's like, okay, why would I do that?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, just leave it alone. If you well, then you just have your own fetish site for something else. Because I have seen six toes and web toes and everything else in between. But the point is that you need to catch your one set. I tell people to treat their feet like their teeth. Do you want to have a bunch of dentures?
No.
Or do you want to preserve what you have? Do you want back surgery, or do you want to have a nicer mattress? There's just a few things in life that you have to spend money on, and it's what we don't regenerate, because we're not geckos. We're not going to like lose a tail and grow back.
That'd be cool though.
And that's how I have to explain it. Because unfortunately, good shoes are not cheap.
Right. No, good shoes aren't cheap. But I think what's lost on people is the ability to go into a store like ShoeThrill in downtown Chandler and get some personal attention, get real knowledge from somebody who understands a foot versus, let's even take, we talked about the 20-year thing with the graduating class at high school. 20 years ago, you could go into a shoe store and the level of, I think, shoe service, let's call it, understanding maybe a little bit about your foot and helping you put on a shoe that's going to be comfortable was there. I think that's eroded. You walk into any store, a Dick's, right, or anywhere you might go to buy these shoes, they're just throwing boxes at you. They're on the walkie-talkie. I need 7 11s over here and 6, pairs of Asics. And the next thing you know, I'm like, well, where do I even sit, for crying out loud? And so and to your point too, the online, everybody's just buying their shoes online.
It's idiotic. And if you go to Dick's, I mean, if you go to most places, I think Nordstrom's still has customer service, but brick and mortar independent shoe stores like mine are a dying breed.
Yeah.
Which is so sad, especially with shoes this expensive and the knowledge and the technology that we have nowadays. If you went to a DSW, if you went to a Dick's, I'm sorry, you're probably not even going to get a guy on a headset. You are fending for yourself.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You're in the hurt.
By the way, the shoe size that you may have wore 15 years ago, you may not wear that shoe size anymore. So it's so important for you to get a proper fit. Have you been losing your toenails on hikes? You're probably not wearing the right size shoe or sock.
Interesting.
And I really think it's important for you to go see somebody who is actually going to look at your feet, make sure you're getting a proper fit, because otherwise you could be causing more damage than help. So it's important for you to think of those elements when you're going to go spend your money. Also, if you're somebody like me who prefers to support small businesses and be in our community, every tax dollar that we put back into Chandler is taking care of our roads, our schools. You guys are help paying my mortgage. You guys are help paying my employees who are in college so that they can have something nice for themselves. Like, you know where your money is going. It is not going to Jeff Bezos. You can actually put a face to your dollar. Jeff Bezos doesn't need any more money.
He's got plenty.
I'm sure that you want to spend it. If you want to save time on toilet paper, I get it. But when it comes to your footwear, it is so important for you to go to somebody that is trained, that will actually give you time and attention. Customer service is one of our number one priorities. That, and we're going to make you better looking. I will actually tell you if you are too young. I've told many, many ladies, I will sell you that shoe in 20 years. You're not there yet.
You're not ready for it? Nice. You get the real talk at the ShoeThrill, but you can leave there looking like $1 million. You can leave there with shoes, purses, accessories, lots of awesome stuff in the heart of downtown Chandler at ShoeThrill. Plus, Carissa and the gang. Who's coming with you out to the event? I've met some of your group out there. And again, I have to applaud what you guys do on social media because I'm so horrible at it. I always tell people how good they are. I mean, you've had some cool stuff out there recently with the feet walking around. We've got the pickleball shoe that's going to be at the Pickle Guild weekend, Saturday, August 17th. Here's a bonus for you folks. I'm playing in that tournament. Come watch me be bad at pickleball. It's a lot of fun. We're going to have some fun with Carissa right now. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right. I'm going to switch it up on you. I want to get into the hot sauce stuff first. The honey mustard, I mean. She treats honey mustard like Frank's Red Hot, folks. She puts that shit on everything. Carissa, tell us about the love for honey mustard.
So I actually thought I didn't have a sweet tooth for many years until my husband came into my life and opened my fridge and realized I had 7 different types of honey mustard in the fridge. He goes, you do realize honey mustard is all sugar. So you actually are probably eating the equivalent of somebody else's Haagen-Dazs habit. For me, I think most food is just a carrier for the honey mustard. And it's not just honey mustard. My nickname growing up was Little Miss Condiment. I mean, who wants a dry, bland piece of food? I mean, we create these sauces for a reason. Honey mustard just happens to be my favorite. And probably the number one is that neon-colored honey mustard you get from Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And now you can get that retail.
You can get it. If you go to Chick-fil-A, my poor husband was picking up an order. They handed him the bag of food he was about to drop off. And they're like, wait 1 second. They came out with a full squeeze bottle of honey mustard. He's like, oh, my wife. He's like, that's disgusting. I just like what I like.
Hey, you gotta like what you like, and no judgment here. I mean, I like honey mustard, I like Frank's Red Hot, and I like Catalina dressing, and I'll put that almost on every salad because I like it. Now, you mentioned the Olympics over in Paris. Let's say we're going ShoeThrill Europe. Are we opening in Paris, or would we open in London, Rome? Where do you feel right?
Because I do so many brands that are imported, if I was going to open my own shoe store, I would pick between Germany, Portugal, and Israel.
Ooh. Have you been?
Israel has some of. No, but all of my customers have, so it's all on my bucket list.
Awesome.
Obviously, Ferguson's from Germany. Yeah. So many of my comfort brands that I carry are from Germany. And you want to know what the big surprise is? People in Europe actually walk. Here, if you can't get a parking spot 15 feet away from where you're going, you're probably not even going to go into the business. That's just Americans for you, and that's sad. But that's why I carry European shoes.
Yeah, I mean,
if you actually want to go walk, then you're going to get a shoe that's shaped like a boot, like a healthy foot. And healthy feet are not pointed like this. So when Sex and the City came out, oh my God, I bet all the podorthas and podiatrists made a killing with all the women that ruined their feet from those shoes.
From trying to squeeze.
And ladies, those women had those women had a drinking problem. Yeah, they had so many cosmopolitans, they didn't know they had feet. That's why they were wearing those shoes.
So speaking of Sex and the City, what was the last series you binged, or what are you watching right now?
I'm rewatching Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's the last. This is their last season. Believe it or not, the show has been out for 22 years now. Larry David's the creator of Seinfeld, and you either do or you don't like that sense of humor. But for me, I really like a good, dry, sarcastic, observational.
I'm with you.
Type of sense of humor.
Big guy, little
and
dog.
You have to pay attention.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All the you want to say out loud, but you know you can't. He does it on the show, and he does it to perfection. And the cool thing about that show is there's no script.
Oh yeah.
Every one of those episodes, those characters just have an outline. They are just pumping that crap out themselves. That's talent.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Talent is what's on your fingernails. Let me see those again. What colors have we got rocking? And is there any significance in the colors? Is that red and gold? Nice.
The significance is they match this really fabulous tattoo that gives me street cred so I don't get jumped in a parking lot.
Well, in downtown Chandler,
These are
you need that
chrome.
street
Chrome,
cred.
20 years ago you did. You did.
Well,
Not
trust me.
anymore. But chrome is such a cool, different nail polish color. I don't know.
Neat. No,
I'm
I
kind
think
of
it's popping.
I'm kind of sick.
I
Yeah,
think
the
it's
basic
popping.
white tips. I'm sorry.
Looking good,
Yeah, you
looking
want to be
good.
different.
I mean, we mentioned if we're gonna be barefoot, being on the sand would be a good idea. Would you prefer, dream vacation, husband, you and Joey, we're heading out somewhere, are we going snow or we might be sand? What would you prefer? Or neither?
Honestly, I would say the ocean. If you've spent time around the ocean, there is like proven healing qualities as far as the ions that come out of the ocean to calm and relax your nervous system. I mean, there's a reason why if you go to a massage parlor, you might hear in the background wave sounds.
There's a reason
If you
I go
go
to a
to a
massage
doctor,
parlor.
that's why it's a white noise,
That's
is
right.
because it soothes the nervous system.
I was
Doesn't mean
blessed
that
to
I don't
grow
love
up.
snow.
Well, okay, yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, I was blessed to grow up on the water in the Mediterranean, and and I get it. I would love to have a beach villa, still be able to get into some sort of a city or something. But then I think, hey, I could live in the mountains. If the snow would come to me, it can't be snowing all the time. I would still need a little variety if I was going to be like secluded in the mountains. So now that we're out in the water, what kind of boat would Carissa want to be on? Like a sailing type of thing, or do you want full blown power yacht action?
Um, I only want a yacht if somebody else is maintaining it and serving
Well,
me.
that's why it's a yacht.
If it came to a sailboat, this is because I'm about as deep as a koi pond on some things. If it comes to a sailboat, I only want a sailboat because I like the clothing and the look that comes with sailing.
You could get your whole Sailor
Gotta
Girl
look cute.
outfit going on. There, you're right. Now the wardrobe could be different
I like.
if we were pampered on a sailboat versus if we were pampered on a yacht, right? I mean, below deck yacht or below deck the other one, they do both because now we've got the whole crossover. It started out as a journey for ShoeThrill to go somewhere on this chartered yacht. Now it turns into, uh-oh, there's, that below deck guy. He sees Carissa. What's going on? Joey's getting a little upset. And then he goes off on the catamaran with the other guy. This could be a whole Netflix spin-off for crying out loud. But we'll get back on track. What would Carissa's superpower be?
Probably empathy. I don't know. It would be a toss-up between empathy and humor. When it comes to how I interact with other humans, I don't know what it is. I have just always been able to feel other people's emotions when they're around me. I can feel people's vibes, and I'm able to alter my vibe or adjust to improve or make theirs more positive. And I feed off of other people's energy and positivity. And then with all of the crappy stuff that happens in the world, honestly, I don't think I would have made it this far if I didn't have a sense of humor.
Yeah. No, you gotta.
I think sense of humor can do anything.
I think you got to let things kind of roll off your back a little bit. I think you got to be able to laugh at things as they happen, certainly at your part in them, because this is life and life is serious. Yet there's so many things at any given time happening in this crazy world. You've been on it long enough to know that some things are going to happen again. They just come around. They just come around. And it's the new stuff that keeps blowing me away, right? I told you before, I'm in my Clooney years. I'm looking good. I'm trying not to be always get off my lawn. But sometimes I have to be because I'm just like, no, you're stupid. We don't need to change that. And so we'll keep it going here. I think I asked you this one before, but do you think javelinas are cute?
I think anything that's a pig form of any sort is cute. So yes, I think javelinas are cute.
But
Is there cuter things? Yes.
They're evil little creatures.
They're a little pissy and they're a little misunderstood. An evil creature would be a scorpion.
Okay.
Those things are evil.
You reading my mind? I even changed up some of my questions to take from snakes or spiders to go to specific scorpions. or black widows? Because you can find both of them around your house sometimes.
I don't like either. I can handle most things. I can handle cockroaches. Black widows bug me, but nothing bugs me like a scorpion. They are the only insect that doesn't clean itself. So if you wonder why they're so hard to kill, you actually have to put things out in your yard that cut up their exoskeleton to absorb poison to kill them.
Yeah.
Those things can survive Arizona without any human help. And I don't know, when you're close to them, they blend into the ground, and you get close and their tails start swinging around. And my dad thought it was real funny when I moved from Oregon. He told me that there were flying scorpions, and I was terrified. And it's not true. Thank God.
There are not flying scorpions, people, but there are scorpions of all varieties around. If you're visiting this weekend to come out to the Pickle, or next weekend for the tournament at Pickle Guild, go to where you're staying. Buy a black light at Walmart or wherever you can find one and start waving around the bushes. You will be amazed at all the little critters you see there. And they do. They hide in the carpet. I hate the scorpions. But at least the black widow, I can see her, right? She's got a huge messy web. You know she's in there somewhere. You just got to wait for her to come out. I'll tell you, she's always there. I'll tell you a funny story about scorpions and black widows real quick, and then we'll keep it going. So in my old apartment in Ocotillo, right across from that Intel city that they're building, and now they're going underground, I think. So they're building over there constantly.
You're right.
Scorpions live underground. They got to go somewhere. So they're coming over to our apartment. I used to call it Scorpion Ranch. It was uncontrollable. But they would come in from the ceiling and drop into the light.
Yeah.
Like in the foyer.
Yeah.
So what's cool is you just turn the light on, and then they start running around in there. The hotter it gets, like little mice until they die. And so that was always kind of fun. And cats are good with scorpions.
Yeah. They are good with scorpions. You do realize that the reason why you had them was because they're seeking water after their den got invaded.
Yes, after they get dug up. The kingdom of scorpions is alive and real, folks, here in Arizona. Trust me. They're not going anywhere. And then with the black widows, when I lived in Maricopa, we would, I always get them out, under the part of the stucco that doesn't go all the way down on your porch or wherever you might find a black widow. But we had one, and at one time we saw her like eating a cricket or whatever it was doing, and this was when my children were still a little younger, and so we kept it for a little while, and we could throw crickets into the web and it would come get it, and so it was kind of fun. And then eventually we figured it's going to have babies, and so I had to kill it. But at any rate, there's my scorpion and black widow story. Speaking of,
I grew up with brothers. We used to take a black widow and a scorpion in the same mason jar. Yes. That's a battle.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. All right, I grew up with brothers. All right, well, let me hit you with this. Who would throw Carissa for a loop if she came into ShoeThrill looking for shoes? Jessica Alba or Charlize Theron? Neither? All right, who's your go-to girl?
I love Charlize Theron. She's the most beautiful woman that has ever graced the planet. She must be the most symmetrical thing I have ever seen.
Yes.
If I was going to be into women, it would be her. And honestly, she could just stand in the corner and look pretty. That woman is spectacular. But neither woman's going to throw me off, because every single woman that walks through my door, I treat as a different type of Barbie. I'm not dressing them for me. I'm dressing them as the best version of themselves.
I like it. You hear that, ladies? You need to get down and experience the thrill from Carissa for sure.
Yeah, if you're sporty spice, I got you. If you want to be super girly and preppy, I got that too.
Right on. All right.
Or if you're confused, sometimes I'm Stevie Nicks and sometimes I'm Gwen Stefani. It just depends on where I woke up that day.
That's all good. Those are two great pulls. And so that brings me right to this. I mean, what are we jamming to? What's your favorite kind of music? What do you like to listen to when you're getting going, getting you pumped up?
I like pretty much all music except for country, but I love Beyonce's new country album. I don't care who says something about it. It is a fantastic album. My favorite artist of all time is Billy Joel, and we just got a new bulldog puppy, and his name is Billy Joel.
Aw, awesome. That is so awesome. How many times have you seen Billy Joel?
4. And one of the times was with Elton John.
I was going to ask if you saw the dueling pianos with Elton John. Was that your favorite Billy Joel concert, or was there a different?
The most recent one in the past year.
Okay.
That man at his age can still hit every single one of those high notes in Innocent Man, and that is impressive.
He can still rock it. Is that your favorite Billy Joel song?
No, actually Matter of Trust is, and that's not as popular of a song. But I think that the song that I grew up with that got me into him was River of Dreams.
Oh.
My dad had a Mazda RX-7 convertible, and the headphones were built into the seat.
Yeah.
So my dad would drive me to soccer practice, and I would hear that song.
Yeah, I think.
Of course, this is like one of the only.
The Recaro seats or something like that came kind of stock in the RX-7 and one of the models, and yeah, it was tight. You had the things right in the seat. I only had friends that had those, or my friends' dads had them. I didn't drive an RX. I had a Honda CRX. If you ever saw one of those, that was my first car. Now that was a pimp mobile back in the day. Let me tell you, that was a little rocket. All right, I'll get you out of here. We've got a big event in 2 weeks at the Pickle Guild out in Mesa, folks. Cassandra's going to be there. It's a pickleball tournament, MLP style. ShoeThrill will be there. The Olukai pickleball shoe will be there. I put it on my feet. It's comfortable. It looks good. Wait till you see it. As we leave here, Carissa, I want to play the Who's Coming to Dinner game with you and Joey. You got two of you. You got two people that's coming. Now, these are your choices. So he's just got to be there. And it can be alive, dead, entertainment, actors, singers, shoe people. Go.
If Joey and I were choosing somebody to come to dinner with us, these people don't even exist, but this is probably our guilty pleasure when we're really at the end of the day. It'd be Bob and Linda from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay.
Actually, we probably want the whole family. We want the kids too.
Just
because my husband's
the whole Bob,
the whole family. All we want the neuroses. We're also a foodie family, so that's perfect.
How much ice?
But that would be entertaining.
How much ice cream is in that freezer back there around the corner?
Right now I need to replenish it, but I'm lucky my UPS driver is actually on vacation for 2 weeks. Typically I have 4 boxes of different ice creams. He prefers drumsticks. He does not like the caramel ones. He does not like the mint ones.
I think it's
and great. Then I usually, yeah, but now it's not just him. I got the FedEx guy, my mailman. They all just walk and help themselves to the freezer.
That is so
it's a reciprocal relationship.
Yeah, it's a reciprocity. You gotta have it. All right, let me let you get out of here. I had so much fun. Go ahead.
I said, guess who always gets their deliveries early and on time?
That's right, ShoeThrill. Right? Some things still work, folks, and it's called little niceties, right? Ice cream in the freezer when you figure it out. Do you still, I bet you still don't, I bet people don't tip their garbage men because you don't have a garbage man that comes in, in some places you live, you still do that. But I think it's awesome how you keep treats for the people who come by, who work with you, who you work with in the community. She's got a great store in downtown Chandler, ShoeThrill. She's going to be out there at the event at the Pickle Guild in 2 weeks, like I said. She's Carissa from ShoeThrill. Her last name, I got to say it right, Kluesener?
Kluesener is my married name. My maiden name is Krausman, which is German for curly hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Krausman. I almost had it right. But hey, you kind of have curly hair. We have shoes from Germany, so it all works, right?
Ich liebe die Schuhe.
As we let you go ahead and plug anything you'd like to plug. Do you have another event upcoming after the deal at the Pickle Guild? Maybe we can get it on the radar for people. But I've had so much fun, and I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, I would love to meet and talk shop with anyone. I never get sick of talking about shoes, truly. So if it's talk about pickle shoes. If you want to talk about any other show, talk about that. I even have exciting news from just coming back from Shoe Show because I now know what they're using for AI when it comes to shoe design, and that is cool.
Talk about it a little bit. Give the people a toiler. Now we might have to have part 2 to learn more about AI shoes because the machines are taking over. Just give me a sprinkle.
I'm a little bit of a tech nerd because my dad helped design the first Pentium, so I get really excited about new gimmicky stuff. So you probably noticed that women now, and men are wearing tennis shoes with blazers. Like you can wear a sneaker now and dress it up.
Every guy on the set of NFL today is wearing like that sneaker dress shoe.
Like an elevated sneaker. So one of my brands invested in AI technology, and everyone's doing retro throwbacks. So they took the DNA of the best-selling model of Nike, Adidas, and Reebok from the 80s,
Okay.
plugged it into their AI system. They took their best soles and materials that they already own, put that into AI. Then they took the Pantone colors, which are the colors of the seasons, and put that in, and out came one of the coolest looking sneakers.
Wow.
I mean, it's bizarre. So we still have a part in it, but I mean, it's taken everything that we already know is gold and throwing it together and doing it quickly. So I'm really excited. Next spring, I will have an AI-assisted created sneaker that is comfort-based.
All right. Then come springtime.
That's the nerd.
Come springtime, we're coming back on the court, and we're going to talk about this AI-infused shoe. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great out at Pickle Guild, August 17th. ShoeThrill will be there. Carissa will be there. I'm going to be there playing, for crying out loud. This has been so much fun. Carissa, thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to get back on the court 2.0. Have a great weekend. Can't wait to see you out there. Thanks again.
You too. Thanks.
I have just got to say, that was awesome. Carissa, thank you so much, folks. You got to get down to ShoeThrill if you're in town. Let Carissa and her awesome staff treat your feet. Go to ShoeThrill.com. See the new Olukai pickleball shoe. Come to Pickle Guild, August 17th. Visit ShoeThrill. Watch me thrill the crowd. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated. I'll see all y'all next time for more.